this show going, man.
Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Hurry up!
Come on now. We're going to have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere.
Boy, your ass got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer.
Hey, wild cat.
Ball at the 5, third down and 2.
That was bad.
Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much.
He wasn't playing the ball.
It's holding.
Cliff. The cliff.
How is that not called?
That ain't going to call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome. We are the Aussie Guys, and I'm AJ. Here with me it's because we've been chatting for a while and we're all just delirious. But we've got Schepps on the line, we've got G here, and we've got a special guest who I'll intro in a minute. But boys, how you doing?
I'm third again.
What do you mean third again?
Mate, I've been doing this thing for you and me have been doing this for 5 or 6 years. Schepps has been on he's just jumped on the wagon. And he's getting introduced before I do.
I'll look after him.
You drop me like the hot potato.
Like a little puppy. I'm just sort of like...
Well, what I do, my strategy is I say something absurd before we go on the air. So I'm like the first thing on his mind when we go on the air because I said something absurd. So he mentions me first. It works.
It is working.
And we also have our special guest on the line, Randy Young, DFF Memphis, from the Dynasty Warzone pod. Randy, a warm welcome to you.
Hey, good morning, evening, guys. How are you?
We're good, mate. Great to have you back on.
Thanks for having me back. I'm like an honorary Australian. I was telling you guys off air before we recorded that Australia is my #1 international listener base. So thank you to all the Aussies that listen to the Dynasty Warzone. I won't say the naughty word that I said off air, but I don't need you Canadians. I got the Australians.
Ooh, shots fired at the Canadian crowd.
Mate, you can say
but they're so nice. They'll forgive me tomorrow. They'll be like, oh, he's a nice guy to eat. We'll play some hockey.
Yeah, we'll send him some maple syrup. All right, so...
I'm drinking a Canadian club. I'm keeping in the good graces of the Canadians.
Yeah, and
is it actually made in Canada? Whoa.
And you jumped the gun. Drinks of the pod!
Oh, it's back. The Drinks of the Pod is back.
It's back. And you drinking a Canadian club.
Summer Crisp, because it's the first day of spring here, guys. So getting in the... Well, spring's meant to start to get warmer, but
it didn't.
No, it didn't. So getting into the spirit of it. Is it actually made? Do you guys know? Is it actually made in Canada?
We'll check the label.
What? I feel like it'd be false advertising if it was not.
Well,
Why would they call it that?
It's bottled in Australia. Yeah, but because what some companies I've been told is they have they use the company logo and they have they're in conjunction with the main brand, but they actually make it here.
Yes. And
just put it under their label. So
it's kind of like a franchising deal, I would assume.
Yeah.
I guess so. And I've got a Stoke NPA. It's from New Zealand, and it's quite nice.
What is it? It's a type of beer. An ale?
It is an ale. It's a pale ale.
Pale ale. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's nice.
As we just...
It's nice.
If there's a silent spot, it's because we're both drinking at the same time.
That's right. It doesn't make good podcast. But, hey, listen, we are gathered here for our annual predictions pod, which is exciting. This is always, almost without fail, our most listened to pod for the whole year. It's all downhill.
Mate, guys, this is the height of it gets with the Aussie guys.
It is. People tune in and they're like,
this is our Everest.
These guys are jokers. I'm not listening to them again.
Wanker would be a good term used. I don't know if Americans use the term wanker.
Wank. Yeah, we've heard it. We normally get called wankers. Like we normally don't say the word, but Americans do get called wankers from time to time.
By other countries.
Yeah. Careful.
You bloody wanker.
By Canadians.
Well, listen, we have, and I tweeted out and I've collated some of those results as well, but this is our predictions pod. G, are you going to record all of these responses?
Okay. All right.
I'm just telling you now.
Oh,
G,
yeah,
record all of these responses. Do you want you can have
pre-production meeting again. That'd be great, mate. Pass that pad over.
Do you want that?
And I'll write it. We used to have when we first did this, guys, we had a whiteboard. And we actually posted it out. We took a photo of the whiteboard and tweeted it out. But
there you go. You can use that.
Now we're just using a piece of paper. Okay.
What happened to that whiteboard?
AJ did some work, or they had a flood.
No.
You had a flood, didn't you? The basement flooded.
So let me... Well, it flooded, and
Things
how
went
do I
missing?
put this? How do I put this?
I didn't steal it.
In a way, the toilet backed up, so that the whole of our studio flooded, but it wasn't water. If you gather what I'm saying,
It was pool water.
it was slightly brown consistency.
I didn't even know that.
Didn't you?
All right,
No.
move on.
I wonder
move on.
why this floor's always been sticky for a long time.
Oh my god.
So yeah. Anyway, so this pod's quickly gone in the crapper. I think
It has.
Oh.
It starts.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's very good. So listen, so we're going to make some predictions about division winners and perhaps who will go in the wild card, who will go in the playoffs and wild card teams. Then perhaps who makes the Super Bowl. But you could be in more detail than that. That's all I did. I did Super Bowl winners. And then we've got some other categories that we're going to break down as well. But let's start with the divisions, shall we?
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah. You can be a bit more cheerful about it. This is meant to be a happy pod. This is serious.
You need some coffee, not some beer. Maybe he needs more beer. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So we'll just go around. You
He's
record
tired. He's
it,
been doing a lot
and
of editing.
I have been doing a ton
He's
of editing.
been doing a ton.
A ton. So let's start, boys, with the AFC North. Who do you have?
So I have the Steelers, and I have them as the number 1 seed in the AFC this year. Cleveland will be better. Baltimore will be, they can't be worse. Joe Flacco played terrible last year. But, yeah, that's going to be a really good team. And I'm not even concerned if Le'Veon Bell holds out for a while. James Conner has looked really serviceable in the preseason. So give me the Steelers. Then I'm calling for the Browns at like 8-8 to finish second in that division.
Interesting. I got the Steelers too. I didn't go that far into the division. I do like the Browns. I wouldn't say what their record is, but I do think they're going to be better. I think they have leadership this year. Mayfield's looked phenomenal. I watched the clip of every pass he made in the last game, and man, he's just like, it doesn't look like he's just hitting open receivers and he's not having problems because they're wide open. Like, he's threading the needle, in coverage. So that's just my bit on the Browns, but I got the Steelers. I don't know if I don't have them as my number 1 seed in the AFC. I kind of feel like they're ready to implode with Roethlisberger, with one foot out the door, with Le'Veon Bell having issues there. I feel like you can only glue together all those personalities and make it mesh for so long. And now when you have people about to retire, people getting older and probably getting sick of some stuff, you got guys who want to get paid. I think they're going to have some trouble. And then also you got young guys stepping up and taking spots of older guys, and older guys don't really like that. Like James Washington stepping up, Juju stepping up. I don't think the defense is going to be as good as years past, but I do think they're good enough to win that division. So I got the Steelers.
G, who do you have?
Well, John said a lot, and we've only got an hour. Steelers.
It's funny because I only wrote one word. I just wrote Steelers.
I just Steelers. Steelers across the board. Winners.
Wow.
No, well, they got a great running back. They have the number 1 receiver probably in the NFL. They pick up Juju last year. Washington looks like he's going to be something. Mate, their offense is just... Their O-line's good enough. The defense is getting better every year. They're going to have a good D this year. I don't see how you can go past them in that division.
Okay, we're going to keep moving. And let's go to the AFC East. We'll stay in the AFC, and then we'll go across the NFC.
No, let's just stay in the AFC all the way through.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I just said, that
All
bit
right.
that I...
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So AFC East...
So you go from north to east. Wouldn't you? Isn't it like north, south, east, west?
Oh, if you like.
No,
All right.
no. You go wherever, mate. You're all over the shop. I don't want to travel with you. We get lost.
AFC East. Okay, Randy, who you got?
This is not really, they're going to have a down year, but I think the Patriots, they're the tallest midget in that division. It's not their fault that the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins are just terribly, ran and coached organizations. So as long as they're in the AFC East, Tom Brady could play till he's 50.
Mate, isn't it amazing how, look, they've lucked into the fact that you've got Belichick and Brady is, your 1-2 combination. But to be in that division for so long with the teams that have never gotten any better and they keep tripping over themselves, they must just sit back and just go, this is just too easy. Far too easy.
Man, I think the Patriots are going to be good this year. I don't think they're a midget. I like their. I mean,
Mate, I like to say
I
it.
know, but man, Belichick and Brady are just Belichick. Like you got to give him credit. He's going to put this team together. I think they're weak at wide receiver, but they're good at tight end. They're good at running back. They're good at quarterback. The defensive line is going to be better with Derek Rivers coming back this year. They got 2 young linebackers, Bentley from I believe is from Vanderbilt, and then you got Christian Sam from Arizona State. So I think I'm looking for the Patriots. I have them as my 2 coming out of the AFC. So Pats.
Okay.
I'm just going to write all.
I've got, my one-word analysis, Patriots. Man, I'm glad we got you guys on because...
I know. Oh, mate, we'd be doing it right, but we have to allow... we'll just say one word because we've got to allow for Schepps and Randy to talk.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But guess. That's what we do.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's go to...
glory.
Let's get our punch on, all right? So let's go to the AFC South. We need a little bit of disagreement, guys. Let's go to the AFC South. Randers, who you got?
I wanted to go Andrew Luck playing a third-place schedule with my Colts, but it's Houston. I think they get Deshaun Watson back. They get J.J. Watt back. Merciless back. The defense will be better, which will make the offense a little bit better. So I'm going Houston.
I have to make a correction for myself. Before I said Vanderbilt for Bentley, and it was Purdue. Juwan Bentley went to Purdue. But anyway, I got the Jags, man. The Jags are my number 1 seed. I don't care that they got Blake Bortles. They're going to run the football. They might bring Des Bryant in down there. And best defense in football right there. And defense wins championships. I think Houston's got too many personalities. Let's see.
Schepps is big on these personalities.
So let's go Jacksonville Jaguars, number 1 seed in the AFC.
Hey, Jay, who you got?
I got the Texans.
Ooh.
I think
we're split. We're going to be split 50-50 down the guts.
Now, while I like the Jags D, I think that the Texans are a much more complete team than the Jags. And look, for the record, I got the Jags getting a wild card. They're still going to be a very good team,
Hey,
but
we're not got to the wild card yet.
No, I'm just saying.
You're giving it away.
The Texans are going to take the South. Gee, and you've got the Jags, obviously.
I do have the Jags.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. Let's go to the West now, and Schepps, why don't you head us off?
I got the Broncos.
Excuse me, what?
The Broncos, man. I got the Broncos with Bad Chad Kelly.
His mind.
Bad Chad Kelly is going to take over and somewhere throughout the season. And I think the Broncos got a good defense, man. And Royce Freeman's going to do all right carrying the football. They got good wide receivers with Cortland Sutton emerging, Deshaun Hamilton, Demaryius Thomas still there. They got a very good offensive line. That's underrated. Ever since they added Ronald Leary, and they drafted that weird dude from Utah 2 years ago. I think he brought the baby out onto the stage. But I think the Broncos are going to be good, man. And AFC West goes to the Broncos.
That's so funny. Anyway, who have you really got, Schepps?
Broncos, baby.
No, come on. You're taking the piss. Surely.
Hey, what about my boy, Deshaun? Is he my boy? Am I allowed to have him, Schepps?
You can have Deshaun
thanks.
Hamilton. Sure.
Randers, give us a sensible prediction.
I'm going with the LA Superchargers. Not as a good sounding as the San Diego Superchargers. But, man, you look at those offensive weapons. I wish they still had Hunter Henry, but even though he's not my breakout player, I like Mike Williams. Obviously love Keenan Allen. That defense with the ability to get after the quarterback with Bosa and Ingram. I like the addition of Derwin James. And give me all the Chargers.
Nice. I got the Chargers as well.
And I'll jump on board with you, mate.
Perfect.
I'm going to have the Chargers.
I think they're going to pretty easily win the AFC West, actually.
Well, I think that defense is rocking.
It's, again, another example of a complete team. Again, you said, like, it's a shame, obviously a shame Hunter Henry is injured and out, but, you know, they've got a fantastic defense. They've got a complete offense. Phillip Rivers is the guy. I think they're going to be great. Melvin Gordon, I think they're going to do it easy.
Licking their chops. They're licking their chops hoping Dallas cuts Rico Gathers because they would know how to use him. So for his sake, I almost feel like I wish he gets cut. But the Cowboys, I feel like within the last 2 weeks, finally start to appreciate this guy. But I almost feel like I wish Gathers gets cut so he can go to the Chargers because the Chargers will know how to use him. Just throw the guy the football. He's bigger. He's more athletic than the guys that are covering him. He can catch anything in his vicinity. He belongs with the Chargers. The Cowboys are going to waste him.
I like that. Nice take. All right. Now we'll do the wild cards.
Okay.
All right. So, Schepps, who have you got wild cards? AFC.
Do you spell,
Chargers
with a
and
K?
Texans.
Is it Kards?
What's that? What?
Cards?
Cards.
Yeah, wild Ka.
What are you talking about?
Cards like you spell kangaroos with a K.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Chefs.
What school did you go to again?
It's closed down. Okay, move on. Come on.
Chargers and Texans. Those are my wild card teams.
Okay.
Okay, Sheps, Chargers, Texans.
Randy.
The Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, wrong. So I've got
It's wrong.
I've got the Jags.
I don't mind you having a go at Sheps. Don't have a go at my boy Randy though. I'd be taking the P1.5 out of him.
I gotta put some stock in the joint custody that G and John share on Patrick Mahomes.
Joint custody. I don't like sharing.
Everybody, dude.
That's like in America when they get a divorce. Parents have to have joint custody.
Every second weekend.
Since you and John can't get along, I got to give you guys joint custody. John gets the even weeks. G gets the odd weeks.
Okay, I've got the Jags and the Raiders.
AJ, Jags, Raiders. Don't talk too. Don't say too quick, Mark. Can't get up. All right, my two will be the Chiefs and the Texans.
Chiefs and Texans. Yep. Okay. All right.
So we all got Jags and Texans coming out of the South, right?
We do.
We do. Interesting. All right. We'll go across the NFC. So let's go to the... Have you got a preference for compass starting location, G?
Well, usually it's north, south, east, west.
All right, I'll start in the north. Let's go to the NFC North.
Thank you.
Randy, who you got NFC North?
I have the Green Bay Packers. Minnesota should have taken their shot last year to win it all because Aaron Rodgers is back, and I like that team. Take the Pack.
Yep.
Sheps?
I got the Vikings. I just feel like their defense is too strong. Good running game. I think their QB Cousins is good enough, better than good enough. I think he's the type of guy. I don't think that he's going to do what they're paying him to do, but he gets the job done. So give me the Vikings. I think the Vikings defense is going to shut down the Packers offense this year. I think the Packers are waiting for somebody to emerge at wide receiver position, and I'm not sure besides Devontae Adams it's going to be anybody else this year.
It's a fair call.
That is a fair call. G, shall I do mine?
Yeah, you do yours, please.
Packers.
Okay.
And who have you got?
75% go to the Packers.
And you've got Packers?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So we'll go to the South. In that case, just to keep my co-hosts happy.
Thank you.
Let's go to the NFC South. Sheps, who you got in the South?
I got the Saints, man. I think the Saints are going to do it, man. You guys are speaking of well-rounded teams. I think they have one of the most well-rounded teams in all the NFL.
Sheps.
I think they're going to run away with that division.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Shep shopped out. Are you there? Sheps. He's gone. All right, that's all right.
Hey, I'm back. I'm going with the Saints. I think they got the most well-rounded team in football. Thank you.
No, you were there. Randers, who you got, man?
You might want to check the internet connection. I'm going Saints as well.
Oh, you guys keep dropping out. What's going on with this computer system of yours, AJ? Skype sucks.
Did you hear him go? You're really there. He's trying to tell me, like.
Oh, Randall, what are you doing to me, man? I thought we were friends.
We are, but I'm also a realist. Drew Brees, that offense. I give him the advantage over your Falcons in the defense department.
Ooh.
You know, got Marshawn Lattimore. They traded it up. They gave away like 2 first rounds, like their 2018 and 2019 first round picks. I don't remember the defensive end's name. I mean, they're going all in. Thank you. They're going all in on this year, and we'll cover some more of this later, I'm sure.
I'm sure we will. I'll look after you, buddy. Falcons for me.
Falcons for AJ. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud.
There you go. Also, I'm in the same room, so
yes,
I'll look after myself.
You're within punching distance of me too. You're lucky you're on my bad side. You're on the reconstruction side. All right, and I'm going to go the Saints.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
He hit us with a pro wrestling swerve. He swerved us.
He can't. I can't help it. They do. Look, they look great last year. They got a great running game. So have we. For me, it comes down to play calling in the end, and I don't trust Sarkisian. I just don't trust him as offensive coordinator. When you go up against someone like Peyton, like a mind like that on the offense, it's just and we proved in the Super Bowl that calls make a difference.
Blow me over with a feather. All right.
I want to win this thing.
NFC East. Hoo-hoo, this is going to be an interesting one. Schepps, we know yours. Randers, who you got? No, Schepps, really. Who do you have?
Eagles. I think they're another well-rounded team. They might have the best offensive line in football. 2 decent quarterbacks. One of them, better than decent ground game. They're pretty good at wide receiver. Their defensive line is phenomenal. Their linebackers can use a push. Hicks has been expected to break out every year, but he gets hurt every year. He breaks down instead of breaks out. Good secondary. So I think the Eagles, I think they're going to be at least 3 games better than any team in the NFC East this year.
Whew. Wasn't expecting that call. Anyway, Randy.
I agree on the Eagles, but I disagree on the fact that they're going to distance themselves. Wentz and Alshon Jeffrey are looking like they're not going to start the season. I think they're going to struggle a little bit in September. I mean, Nick Foles did win the Super Bowl, but he was the same guy who 2 weeks ago put up 0 points and 2 interceptions against the Browns, which is an improved team. But I think Philly still wins the division, but my second-place team will surprise you.
Okay.
My first-place team might surprise you. Go.
Eagles for me.
Eagles?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Who have you got?
Schepps?
Yeah.
This is a mate helping out a mate, unlike what you did to me with the Falcons, but then again, I went the Saints as well because I want to win this thing. I'm going the Cowboys.
Tell me why. I mean, there's things I like, but I just don't want to. I don't want to jump the gun.
Look, to be honest, the only other team in that division that I actually think has a shot is the Eagles, and at the moment I have no faith in Nick Foles in what I've seen. I think Nick Foles has turned back into a pumpkin. I think J.J. has been hurt most of. I think he's been hurt most of camp. Has he actually played? Has he played a game yet? Maybe one.
No,
haven't seen him since. I don't think the receivers without Alshon Jeffrey is that great, and you'll be surprised someone going to put in another category later down the road. And I honestly, mate, we're all talking about Carson Wentz. Okay, he did an ACL. People come back from ACLs, but it wasn't just an ACL. He did both. He did an LCL as well. Okay, so that's a major knee that he's done. And he's a type of guy that moves round. And the same I'll say for Deshaun Watson is another reason I won't pick it. Like, if we talk about fantasy, I won't pick him up because the dude's had 2 operations on 2 knees. I know, like I said, ACLs are like pulling a hamstring these days. But it's still something with someone his size, the position that he plays, the way that he plays the game more than anything, it concerns me. And he might not play the first 3 games.
Well, you're telling me why not Philly, but why Dallas?
Because I spoke about the Eagles because the Eagles are the only other team that I see is going to compete with them, and they're all the reasons they won't. I think it's because not so much because the Cowboys are that much better. I just think the Eagles have a few problems, especially on the offense.
Breaking news. The Bears are expected to trade for star Khalil Mack. Sorry, but I'm reading that from Ian Rappaport. It would be breaking if we were live, but it's expected to happen.
Can I go back and change my NFC North pick? No, just kidding.
But hey,
look,
I love the Cowboys defense. I think the Cowboys defense is going to be top 10 this year with potential to be top 5. So I do really like their defense. I just, Dak can be good enough if the receivers are where they're supposed to be. They brought in receivers who are the type of guys that will be where they're supposed to be. So if they can move the football, if their line can stay healthy, I worry about Tyron Smith with that back. They could be good enough on offense. So I see what you're saying. I just wasn't ready to push it there, but I do like the Cowboys.
Mate, they got
see it.
Like Gurley, they got the best back. I'm a massive fan of Zeke. He gets it done. I don't care what people say about his offensive line. I've heard stupid comments made that I'd rather take Dalvin Cook because of what's happened to the line in Dallas. Yeah, I'd rather take Dalvin Cook behind it, probably the 32nd worst goddamn offensive line in football, if not, say, 30th, against probably the best, one of the best running backs behind, three Pro Bowl guys and 2 are missing?
Yeah.
Mate, that's just people just lose their minds. Seriously.
2 are missing. They got Frederick's the only one missing. Martin's back.
Yep.
Tyron Smith he's
crap.
got a hammy right now, but he's going to be able to play. They drafted Connor Williams in the second. They got Lale Collins at right tackle, so they're still there. I just worry if Tyron Smith can make it through a season this year and look great, then I'll reinvest. But he's just had a back injury. But when he's on the field, he's still a top 5 tackle. So their offensive line is probably like 7 or 8 without Frederick.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
people are talking about Dalvin Cook and okay, whatever. So-called experts. Go.
What are we doing?
We're moving on to the next. We're moving on to the West.
I'm just a little bit shell shocked. So let's talk about let's go to the NFC West. Randers, who you got? NFC West.
The NFC West. Who do I have? The Rams. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong sheet. I started to say the Chargers. You got LA on both sides. It's the Rams. Arizona, Seattle, and San Francisco. I see some positives and some negatives, but the Rams are clearly the class of this division.
Oh yeah, it's the Rams by far. They're like the dream team in Philly a few years back, but they're actually like gonna get it done. You know, that dream team was all show, no go. This team with guys like Sue and Donald, Marcus Peters, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be very tough.
Rams for me.
Rams, 100%.
Okay. Wildcards in the NFC, and we know that unlike the AFC, where we had quite a bit in common probably with our 6 teams that were making the playoffs, in the NFC, there's the potential for a lot more variation. But, Randy, who have you got as your 2 wildcards?
Minnesota and Dallas. Minnesota goes without saying. Just because they don't win the division doesn't mean that they won't have a good season. And Dallas, I just think that you play good defense. I mean, John nailed it, top 5, 10 potential defense, and a really good running game. You run the ball, you play defense. And I know that, Philly's the defending champions. They added some pieces. But at the same time, it's, I think they're feeling themselves a little too much for me. They just put like this big Super Bowl champion thing in their foyer of their locker room. Malcolm Jenkins come out and said that he absolutely hated it. And I agree with him. You're not going to have Carson Wentz for maybe the first month. You're not going to have Alshon Jeffrey. It's just that I think they win the division, but watch out for Dallas. I wouldn't even be surprised if Dallas wins that division. So Dallas is my 6th seed, and there you go, Minnesota and Dallas.
Schepps.
I got the Falcons and I got the Packers. Those are my 2 teams. I hate picking the Cowboys. I hate it. I don't like the bad juju. So, but also I think the Packers and the Falcons on paper right now, maybe that's a lazy thing to do is to pick the paper teams. But on paper, the Packers got Aaron Rodgers, and if he's healthy, man, he kills the Cowboys. He breaks my heart every time he plays us. He just gets the job done. I don't think he's a Super Bowl guy, but I think as long as you got Aaron Rodgers, you're getting in the playoffs. And the Falcons, I just think they're another well-rounded team. I expect Calvin Ridley to take a step. By mid-year, he's going to be a top wide receiver 2. We got 2 good running backs, decent offensive line. Deion Jones, Keanu Neal. So I think that it's the Packers and Falcons.
A little bit of sucking up going on, I just think.
I
got angry at him.
I've got Vikings and Saints for my wildcards.
Vikings, Saints, and I will go with the Vikings and the Falcons.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of consistency.
There is. Just they're all making the playoffs. Just in who wins the division and who gets a wild card. They're all pretty much of a muchness, really, aren't they?
Well, because we've done the divisions, why don't we round it out with Super Bowl teams and a pick?
Well, no. Who wins the divisions first? Who are the 2 teams playing off for the NFC and AFC?
Yeah, but if you say the Super Bowl, then you know it.
Well, not really.
No, but I didn't do that.
Well, that's your own fault, dude.
We're doing NFC Championship game and NFC Championship game.
Exactly right. Don't listen to AJ. Just because he didn't do it.
No, I can do it.
All right.
So all you guys are going to bite your tongues with my AFC Championship prediction. I got Jaguars versus Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to come in as a wild card. I think they're going to be slow to start, but I think they're going to steamroll into the playoffs. And I think it's going to be Jaguars versus Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Actually, I did do it.
You did know.
I did.
Randers go.
I did. I can show you where I've
Save us, mate. Save us.
I hate to go chalk, but the legendary American philosopher Ric Flair said you have to be the man, you have to beat the man. So I'm going to say the man still wins, and that's Pittsburgh and New England. As boring as it sounds, with Pittsburgh advancing out of the AFC.
Dude,
AJ,
I've got Chargers Jags.
Yeah,
AFC Championship
we got
game.
2.
Chargers, Jags. Okay, well, I have the Steelers and the Jags.
Okay.
Going through.
Yep. Alrighty.
So the winner.
NFC? Are we going to NFC and then?
NFC, yes, please. Thank you. Yep.
Okay.
I got Saints versus Rams.
Saints and Rams for Schepps.
Randy.
I have New Orleans hosting Minnesota, and New Orleans winning.
Hoo-hoo.
New Orleans. Minnesota.
Wow. I've got Vikings Saints with Vikings hosting, but Saints winning.
I didn't put down a host. I have to put a host in.
Neither did I. I didn't put a host down.
I drew out a bracket. I did the whole thing.
Nice.
Like March Madness with football, which makes it better.
Oh, beautiful. Good work, Randy. That's why we get him on. Shepps didn't do it.
Professional.
I don't think we get Shepps back on. I'm going Packers and Saints.
That would be an interesting game to see Breeze duke it out with Rodgers, but
and if you're going hosting, that's tough. Geez, I don't know if the Packers want to go to another dome after what happened to them 2 years ago against the Falcons, but
so now we're going so who's in the Super Bowl for you and who's winning it? So here we go. We're going to be outrageously wrong because this is so tough to pick, isn't it?
Speak for yourself.
Shepps, go.
I got Saints versus Jags. I got the Saints winning it all.
Ooh.
Saints, Jags.
Yep. I put my money where my mouth is. I already bet on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I already bet on it.
Nice. Randy.
Yes, sir.
I have Pittsburgh and the Saints, and I want to add a prediction to mine. I say that the Saints win, and Drew Brees retires, rides off into the sunset, and Teddy Bridgewater takes over in 2019.
Ooh. Bring in extra content.
You got to save that. You got to save that for the big prediction.
No, I got a better big prediction.
Oh, loving it. So 2 Saints, Super Bowl champions. Man. AJ, who you got?
I've got Chargers and Saints in the Super Bowl, with the Saints winning it.
Mate, and you've jumped off the Chargers and they're going to play in the Super Bowl.
We are officially killing the Saints' chance of doing anything.
Yeah, they got no hope at all.
I took them on August 7th with plus 1,800 they were. $35 to win 500. So if they win, I'll be a happy man.
Wow. Gee.
Okay, so who have I got? Jeez,
I don't know.
I
You tell us.
written it down. Okay, I have the Saints.
Get out of town.
Steelers.
Yeah.
He almost made it sound like another team was going to run out from underneath the Jumbotron. It was like Saints, Steelers. It sounded like there was a third team about to come that was going to wait in the wing with like bats and, ready to just run out in the field with steel chairs and start hammering on people.
And I have Ben adding another ring to another finger.
Wow.
So I have the Steelers.
Now, do you want to just quickly hear, because I did tweet out before, this afternoon, our time, I tweeted out that we're going to do the predictions
3
pod.
Saints, 1 Steelers.
And so I've written down some of the predictions that other people had, some of our listeners. So there was a Saints Chargers, just like mine, from John Roberts. Chargers Falcons. There was I don't know who was in this one. Someone had
that was G. That was G's burner account.
It wasn't G. Someone had Patriots winning. There was a Jags winning. There was Patriots Packers, Eagles Patriots, and Eagles over Jags.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles are getting back. Sorry.
All right. Now, let's move across to... And again, I've written down other people's suggestions here so we can sort of look at what some other people have written down. But now, have you got an order for... Oh, you want to go there? What? G, you tell me what the order is. I don't know.
Mate, you're the host.
Well, I was going to go MVP, but you don't want me to do that first? Or can I?
No, well, I think MVP, after you go through the rookies and the player of the year, then you do the MVP last.
Offensive rookie of the year first?
Yep.
Okay, offensive rookie of the year. Let's go to defensive rookie of the year. No, I'm just... now that we all agree on offensive rookie of the year. Randy, do you have anyone other than Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, I think Saquon Barkley's a cheat code, so he doesn't count. But actually, no, my offensive rookie of the year is DJ Moore, and I absolutely love him in Carolina with Norv Turner. This is not a cheap plug for my buddy John, who's a Cowboys fan, but if you go back to 91 through 93, when Norvell Turner was the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Irvin averaged in those 3 seasons 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, I know Michael Irvin's a Hall of Famer and DJ Moore's a rookie.
Michael Irvin knew how to push off, so as long as DJ Moore knows how to do that, he should be all right.
And then he went to be the head coach of the Washington Redskins, and he had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons with Henry Ellard. And then he had, a lot of success in San Diego with Vincent Jackson. With a true number 1 wide receiver, I just see that DJ Moore really blows up, just has an amazing rookie year, and DJ Moore is my offensive rookie of the year.
Well, Randy,
I didn't see that coming. That was...
I've got to applaud you for being different, but wrong. Wrong, sorry.
Story of my life.
Randy, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Don't listen to me.
I just saw the guy dominate in college with a third-string quarterback at Maryland.
Yep.
Did he grow like 6 inches during camp?
All right, my offensive rookie of the year is Anthony Miller.
I like it.
So I'm right there with you. I think Anthony Miller is going to blow up. I'm going to go, man. I want to save my big call, but this is just one of my big calls. And I think the timing is right. I got to announce it now. I think week 1 of the NFL season.
You're coming out of the closet.
They're playing the Packers on Sunday Night Football. He's going to have that signature performance. Odell Beckham a few years back against the Cowboys when he had that one-handed catch. Anthony Miller is not only going to jump on the scene, he's just going to blow up week 1, and it's just going to be every week from there on out. He's just going to eat, and he's going to be like, just a high-profile player immediately.
All protein.
So I got Anthony Miller, Rookie of the Year.
It's going to be Kenny Golladay. Blow up and bye-bye for the rest of the year.
Golladay blew up.
I hear what you're saying, but I have more problems with the quarterback than I do the receiver. But there you go. All right, AJ.
Well, does it matter to you that he's a slot? It is
a lot easier. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I did think they had a sort of tight end that might work the same area.
Ooh, I like him.
All right, AJ.
I feel cheap and dirty for saying Saquon Barkley.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I don't know.
It's just set up for him, isn't it? He's going to be in your face.
But I tell you who I wrote as a dark horse, although it doesn't count, as I wrote Sam Darnold as my dark horse. But Barkley's my pick.
Okay. Well, look, I did the same thing. I put Barkley for the simple fact that he's there to do what they want him to do. He's going to be in your face. He's going to get a ton, as long as he doesn't get injured, and that's the same with all these guys.
Of course.
And running back are more. You can't say they're more prone these days, really, can you? Like wide receivers doing calves, hamstrings, God knows what. But I think it's just set up for him. But I did have a dark horse as well, and unfortunately, he probably won't get on the field early enough. But when they work out that Tyrod Taylor's probably not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the bandwagon now.
Well, it's not that I was... Hey, Schepps, who did I bring up when we spoke about quarterbacks 12 months ago? Who was I really excited about? And you turned around and he's not coming out.
You were really excited about Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. And you had to turn around and pop my balloon and say, he's not coming out. Okay.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too.
Yeah. He's looked good.
He's looked good.
Anthony Miller, man, I was so off on. Everybody, listen to me. I'm calling myself out. I thought he was just doing against average competition in college. I was so off of Anthony Miller. I was so wrong. I was god-awfully wrong about Anthony Miller, and I was wrong about Mayfield. I thought Mayfield would be good, so I'm not as wrong about him as I was about Miller, but I thought he was going to be good, but I think he can be great because, man, I'm seeing him make professional throw after throw after throw. Very impressive.
Nice. All right. Let's go to...
But he won't have enough games under his belt. It'll be one of those that if he had more games, he probably could have walked away with it.
True.
Randers, what do you think? Are you on the Mayfield, what you've seen in pre-season, or...?
Here's the thing. He's done it against, second-team guys and guys that'll be driving a UPS truck next week. So nothing against him. I mean, but he was like, 9 for 16 the other night against second-teamers?
But did you like the throws, though? Like, do you see
mechanically sound.
Yeah.
So this is what drives me crazy. People are in two camps with Baker. He's either the next Drew Brees or the next Johnny Manziel, and both people are wrong. He's not Drew Brees, and he's not Johnny Manziel. He'll be somewhere in the middle. He'll be a nice, solid NFL quarterback. But I saw a second-string defensive lineman in the third preseason game. He thought he was going to get the edge in some big slow, well, not big and slow because he's in the NFL, but this guy didn't let Baker get the corner, and he basically ran laterally out of bounds. His 4.8 is not going to make him special in the NFL, and he just needs to stay in the pocket, and, he'll get more acclimated. It's a good thing to sit for a year. So,
man, I'm seeing poise too, though. He's getting people in his face, and he's not taking off. He's taking steps to the left, steps. I see him throwing balls away. That impresses me. I agree with he's not going to be able to run away from these guys, but he looks poised. He looks like he's always looking upfield. I like that. That says a lot to me.
Yeah, he's got lots of positive intangibles and negative intangibles. I'm curious to see what happens when he gets live fire against guys like Geno Adkins and that Pittsburgh defense when he's playing first team guys. Now in fairness, he'll get the first team receivers. He'll get Landry. He'll get Josh Gordon. He'll get Njoku. So he'll have that. But I'm wait and see. But I see the upside. You can't be that accurate of a passer, that mechanically sound, and fail in the NFL. Yeah. That doesn't mean that he'll be a superstar, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a bum either.
And he'll get the first string offensive line too, which is not a bad offensive line, really.
Just for the record, we had 6 replies to my tweet. We had 6 Saquon Barkleys, and we also had a Sam Darnold in reply. So anyway, let's go to Defensive Rookie of the Year. Randers.
I'm going to go back to the Chargers again and say Derwin James.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart.
I think he was the steal of this draft, and I think he is going to feast in 4 games this year against the Broncos and the Chiefs. I like Case Keenum. I like Patrick Mahomes, but that just, it's not like back in the day when they were facing Alex Smith and even a past his prime Peyton Manning. I mean, he's going to do real well in that division, and he's really going to show out because that pass rush is going to help him. He's got a good corner on the other side of him in Casey Hayward. Give me Derwin James.
Man, you know what really grinds my gears? Derwin James can play free safety, and Dallas needs a free safety, and he went 1 pick before us. We're decent at linebacker. What the hell were we doing letting him go to the Chargers? Now we look good at linebacker without Van Der Esch even being on the field, and we are absolutely miserable at safety. We should have jumped. We could have went up 2 spots. We could have went up 2 spots and no, we didn't get sniped twice. That Philadelphia Eagles stuff is BS. We wanted Connor Williams. We were either going to take Connor Williams or we were going to trade for Earl Thomas with that second. But that being said, man, we should have went up for Derwin. I'm completely with you. He's a dude.
Is he your pick as well?
No, Shaq Griffin. I think it's going to be Shaq Griffin in Seattle. KJ Wright is already dinged up. He's probably going to start the season. He had 28 tackles in preseason. 28 tackles. That's phenomenal. So I just think Shaq Griffin's just going to keep riding the wave and keep surprising people. And he's going to come in Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Derwin James for me, G.
Yes.
And I did have a dark horse. I sort of wanted to put Tremaine Edmonds, but he's a bit raw. He's going to be a tackle machine. He's probably more a good fantasy play as opposed to a good NFL play. Derwin James, as you said, Randy, is going to absolutely feast. And I do echo what you say, John, because it's much easier to find a linebacker than to find a dominating safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially a guy with position flex. And Dallas loves position flex.
Yeah.
So he was everything they wanted. But maybe they were nervous because of what happened with Byron Jones. But now they found a home for Byron Jones because they finally brought in a coach who knew how to use him, Chris Richard from Seattle, future head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And they put Byron Jones at corner, and he's lights out. He would have figured out how to use Derwin James. So, disappointing.
And welcome to the Dallas Cowboys pod. Mate, I've got Derwin James. For everything that Rand has said. He's surrounded by talent. They just says, mate, you just go out there and you just stalk and that whole middle of the field. Do whatever you want. And mate, he's just going to be everywhere. So
and he's also got Desmond King next to him. Desmond King is another baller. You put him in the box, you put him at strong safety, I think they're going to be a nasty tandem. Desmond King needs to get some pub. It's not just Joey Bosa. It's not just Derwin James. It's not just Melvin Ingram. Desmond King came in last year, and he was lighting it up with tackles. So see him in the box. Him and Derwin are going to be nasty.
All right, just to add to the conversation, so in replies that we got, we had 5 votes for Bradley Chubb. We had a Roquan Smith and another Derwin James. So a little bit of variation there. Okay, so let's go to Offensive Player of the Year. Now, Offensive Player of the Year. Randy, who do you have for Opoi?
The Opoi, nice term, is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, and what makes Aaron Rodgers so impressive is that he's going to do it with Devontae Adams and a bunch of dudes, just a bunch of random dudes. I know people love Jimmy Graham. I don't, but yeah, give me Aaron Rodgers.
Randers is, when I'm asleep, he's coming in and he's stealing my thoughts.
He is. Schepps, who you got?
Zeke. Zeke, man. They're going to ride him, and I just think he's going to emerge as a receiver out of the backfield. Expect 50 catches from him. I expect like 1,600 yards on the ground, about 20 touchdowns. As long as he stays healthy, Zeke, he's the offensive player of the year.
Mr. Schepps, I knew I liked you. I saw that Guardians of the Galaxy poster on your wall, signed
That's right.
no less.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, my Opoi is also Zeke. Zeke for me. He is going to have one massively fantastic year.
Mate, we have a draft coming up tomorrow, which is our first ever league that we ever started up, which led to what we're doing today, basically. And we just had a dartboard set up with wedges cut out with players on the back. Oh well, not with players, with the players in the league. And we get Noah to put a helmet on and throw darts. And the third dart went out. And I said, mate, this better be me, son, or
you're sleeping outside.
That PlayStation disappears for a month. And it was mine. And I'm now got to hoping with everything that Zeke falls to me at 3. And I've done a lot of mock drafts, and he falls every time. So I love the Zeke. I love the Zeke move.
It's a gift.
Yeah. So, but I'm not having Zeke. After all that, as I said, Randers is coming in. He's like one of the snatching my thoughts straight out of my head while I'm asleep, and I'm on board with him. And I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to come back and just be Aaron Rodgers, and it's always a quarterback, isn't it? Like the percentage odds of having a quarterback are pretty high.
Okay, some additional votes. We had 2 Antonio Browns, we had 2 more Aaron Rodgers, and we had 3 Kamaras.
Yeah,
as well.
Okay.
All right, let's go to Defensive Player of the Year. Randus, who is your depoy?
The old depoy. My depoy is Von Miller. I think you got a real animal on the other side of him in Bradley Chubb. I don't think that teams will be able to scheme specifically for Von Miller, and I think he gets back into that mid-teen sacks and really wreaks some havoc on quarterbacks in the AFC.
Hey, listen, is that an offense in Denver if you get into the sack of a mid-teen?
Yes.
That's wrong. But that's wrong on so many levels. Oh, God.
I didn't think we'd end up here. I always knew we would.
I'm going to get this thing back on the rails.
Ship.
I'm going Bosa. Bosa,
he was
player of the year.
Joey.
I have a man crush on Joey Bosa. So I think this dude is just he's good against the run. He's good against the pass. I think this guy can be better at defensive end than J.J. Watt in his prime. And that's a big statement because J.J. Watt was a freak show. So I just think he's a little more flexible than a guy like J.J. Watt, he's so muscle-bound. I think he's got more bend. So he doesn't just have to bull rush you, but he can bull rush you. He can throw your ass on the ground. So give me Joey Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year.
Man, this is like it's like Texas Hold'em. So Randy went Von Miller, Schepps raised him a Joey Bosa, and I'm going to raise you both a Myles Garrett for me.
Wow, I like it. It's bold. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it, but it's bold.
He's gonna absolutely beast. The guy has got the physical talent to be better than Joey Bosa and better than Von Miller. He's a different sort of cat too, but you know,
can he be better than Khalil Mack?
I almost put down Khalil Mack. I'm glad I didn't now.
No,
but can he be better than Khalil Mack? He's different. I'm just busting Yeah, okay. Who you got, G?
Don't be doing that to my host,
dude. Santa players.
Come on.
2 first Santa player.
Killing my host here.
G, who have you got?
I'm going back-to-back. He's going back-to-back. Aaron Donald, I don't care what's been going on in the off-season. He's going to come out. You put Dominic Sue in the middle. Now, if you watch tape from last year, forget double-teamed. Sometimes triple-teamed Aaron Donald. He's getting clipped. This year, you put Dominic, and you go and have a look at Dominic and Sue from last year, double-teamed. You can't double-team, triple-team both these guys. Someone's going to get free. And Aaron Donald, mate, you give him, he's going to beat 2. There's no doubt. He's proved last year he can beat two people. Sometimes they might not even be able to put two on him this year, and he's just going to run absolute freaking riot this year with Dominic Sue in the middle.
Yep. All right.
No?
Yeah.
No,
I like it.
I like it.
All right. Trying to talk it up. But
Yeah.
okay. All right.
So
got more out of Miles Garrett.
these were the suggestions we had. We had 3 Aaron Donalds. G.
There we go.
We had a Melvin Ingram. We had 2 Luke Kuechly's. We had a Jalen Ramsey and 2 Fletcher Coxes. Yes.
Okay.
2 and 2 Fletcher Coxes.
Man, that which one? Man, there was a call in there, and I just lost focus because my wife text messaged me.
Kuechly.
No, it wasn't Kuechly. Ingram. Melvin Ingram. Okay, he's a good ball player. I'm surprised they're going opposite Bosa, but I mean, it's nice to see Ingram get some love.
Yeah,
because he's a good guy. He's a good dude too. South Carolina Gamecocks.
There you go. Let's go to MVP. And there might be a little bit of overlap here, but which quarterback do you have, Randers?
That's funny. I think that's why they created the OPOY, was to make sure that.
Yeah.
But I'm going back-to-back quarterback in my OPOY. I'm going Drew Brees.
Hey, double that.
Times 2. I think this is his year. I think he's gonna. It's not my big call, but he's going to have a great season. His passing numbers are going to come back up a little bit, and he's going to go out the way that, like a storybook. He's going to have an MVP season. He's going to win a Super Bowl, and he's going to hand the reins over to Teddy.
Okay.
I'm with you. Drew Brees. Drew Brees winning the MVP this year.
Boring, but I've got Aaron Rodgers for MVP.
Yeah, bored. I'm boring.
You as well?
Yeah. I'm missionary. I'm just a missionary bloke. Look, boring as all. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And so we had 5 Aaron Rodgers replies. We had a Drew Brees, we had a Phillip Rivers, we had a Deshaun Watson, and we had a Carson Wentz as well.
I wouldn't hate a Phillip Rivers, by the way. I wouldn't hate that.
Oh, no.
No, that'd be great.
Of course. Now, we're going breakout player. Now, G?
Let's do it.
Is that what you've got next?
Yes, breakout player. So now the breakout player comes with an award and a title.
Does it?
Yeah. So this year's it's been named. It's called the Morris Anglin Award.
Right.
Now Morris Anglin was Frank Morris and Clarence and John Anglin are the 3 gentlemen that escaped from Alcatraz. They're the breakouts.
Oh, wow.
So the award is named after them.
Very nice, G. Man, used the interwebs for that, hey?
Well, I was on there for a while. Randers, who you got, mate?
My breakout player is going to be Corey Davis. I think we saw glimpses of this in the playoff game last year against New England. I like his new offensive coordinator, Matt LaFleur. I'm a little sketchy on his quarterback, but we've seen a lot of people break out in spite of the quarterback play. So give me Corey Davis of the Tennessee Titans.
What is breakout like? What do they have to do to be a breakout? What do you guys?
I think he's going to have like 1,200 yards receiving and like 8 touchdowns.
First team All-Pro.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an All-Pro, but I definitely have it like he's like a borderline Pro Bowler. Okay. I think the All-Pro status will be like in a year or 2. But I think this is the year where the casual NFL fan will go from not knowing. I mean, we all know about Corey Davis because we're all a bunch of fantasy football degenerates, but the average person will know the name of Corey Davis by the time 2018 is over.
Excellent. I like that. Well, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
The casual fan will know who this person is by the end
good.
of the year. Yeah, that's an excellent way of putting it, Randy.
Schepps, who do you have?
I got Jalen Smith, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. I think this guy, he looks like he's at 100%, and he had 2 years of sitting and learning from Sean Lee, who is like an encyclopedia of football. So I expect this cat, he's sideline to sideline. I see him running up the seam with tight ends. He's also a pass rusher. He's got pass rushing moves. He's built like a Khalil Mack, but he is much faster. He's got good instincts. He's a good downhill player. And I think Jalen Smith, I think he's going to be at least a Pro Bowler this year. You know, he's going to jump on the scene.
AJ.
Trey Burton for me.
Ooh. Trey Burton.
Yep.
Ooh.
Hope that's right. I got him everywhere.
I might be picking him up tomorrow.
There you go.
Look, I'm going to start with, if there's going to be a breakout, and Randers put it really well, but I want to set my bar a bit lower to start off. To start with, so he doesn't have to really do too much to improve. Can I cheat that way? Is that okay?
It's your show, man.
You're going to say Antonio Brown or...
No, but I'm starting low. Like he hasn't done anything. And he only has to do a little bit to be a breakout.
Stop teasing us, man.
I'm
Who
working
is
on
it?
that. Do you want it?
I want it.
Cordero Patterson. I
think that's fair, man.
I think that Bill Belichick is going to work out how to use that. And I saw an interview with him the other day, and he sat down and Bill turned around to him, and his words were, "We will make you the player you should be." And all he wants, he goes, all I ask for is just give me the ball. No one's ever really given me the ball. Just give me the ball and let me do what I know I can do. And we have seen what he can do when he gets the ball in his hand, but he doesn't get it enough. Okay, there's all the stuff when he came out that the classroom part of it is a real hamper for him. But just give him the ball. I just think that they really lack some big receivers there with big play. I'm not into Hogan. I just feel that this guy could just show that special side of him this year.
Okay.
Back me up, Randers. Anybody, please?
Yeah.
Help me out. No? Crickets.
Crickets.
Ah, damn you guys.
I think I'm not huge on Chris Hogan either. I was pretty high on him last year, but I think Cordell Patterson has more talent in his pinky than Chris Hogan has.
I think Hogan's a very coverable receiver, where I think Patterson is a little bit harder.
A good buddy of mine who's a top 10 draft analyst for fantasy football purposes, named Kevin Wheeler at FF_Wheeler on Twitter. That's one of his players is Patterson this year. Is one of his sneaky breakout players.
See, instant friends.
So
there you go.
So there you go.
I found a buddy out there.
Now, on the flip side,
we have to have. There's always a flip side. There always is.
Now.
So it's the fall from grace player.
The fall from grace.
Maybe we're not doing too far. Well, fall from grace is a little bit hard.
Have you named this one as well?
Yes, I have. Now, just give me a chance here. Now, this is called the Charles First Award. Now, Charles First was King of England, and he went from ruling and having supreme power to being an arrogant shit and creating a civil war. And in the end was tried for treason and had his head chopped off. So I don't think you can go any further than ruling everything. And back in the days, England ruled everything in Europe to having, not long after, having your head chopped off. That's a pretty big fall from grace.
Hoo-wee.
So this is called the Charles First Award.
I feel bad for nominating my player now. I don't think he's going to get his head chopped off, but still, Randers, who do you have for the fall off?
I have Adam Thielen falling off. I think he was the beneficiary of some Pat Shurmur play calling. His new offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo, if you go back, he was the red zone coach and the tight ends coach. I think it was tight ends coach in Philadelphia last year. And you just saw how they implemented the offense. Kirk Cousins is not known for overly involving his wide receivers. And I think Stephon Diggs takes a step forward. So I think there's nowhere for Adam Thielen to go but down.
Okay. Schepps.
I got Deshaun Watson. Man, I think this kid, he looked awesome last year, but I think he's coming off an injury, and everybody's like, he's going like fourth QB drafted in most leagues this year. Everybody loves him because he had a few huge performances last year. I just have a feeling that reality is going to hit this year. It's going to be a little tougher. I mean, Will Fuller's healthy. He's his wide receiver too, so he's got him back. I don't think he's got much of a ground game. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. I think the defense is going to carry them mostly. I love DeAndre Hopkins, but I just feel like Deshaun Watson's going to take a step back this year.
Agreed. AJ.
Kareem Hunt.
Ooh.
No.
Yep. So
that's the Raider fan in you.
It's not the Raider. So Kareem Hunt.
Randy, jump in any time and just say, what was that movie? Bullshit? What was it called?
What?
That one with Matthew McConaughey.
I've never heard of a movie called Bullshit,
Jackass?
but I was totally watching.
Jackass? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
I see this. I see this with Kareem Hunt though, because Spencer Ware's back, and he's not going to take his workload. But Spencer Ware 2 years ago had like 1,300 plus, all rushing and receiving yards. Andy Reid's a big fan. He would have started last year more than likely over Kareem Hunt. That was the way it was trending before before Ware got hurt.
Precisely.
I just think he's really going to carve in his role.
Who's the dude in Denver right now that's expected to start over Royce Freeman? Like, that's the way it is, and Royce Freeman's going to pass him. Like, come on. Kareem Hunt's a dude. He's every year the dude who balls out at the Senior Bowl, comes to the NFL, and they ball. Kareem Hunt's a dude. You guys need to stop.
I'm not picking up Kareem Hunt. I've overlooked him. I've gone Melvin Gordon instead of Kareem Hunt.
And it's for exactly what you said, Randy, and also the fact that offense is changing. So, you don't have Alex Smith under center anymore. It's going to be a very different offense.
Agreed. Okay. So, and mine is Zach Ertz. I just think the Eagles are just... It's not going to all work for them this year. I just think Zach Ertz has reached his peak, and I don't know if he's a type of a plateau sort of tight end. I think... Who's the other guy there? Goddard is rocked up. The quarterback situations I spoke about at the start of the show. I just think... And being like he's the number 3 tight end to go off the board in fantasy, and usually around... I think it's around... maybe in the 30s, in the mid-30s as a PPR and early 40s player off the board in standard. I'll be looking at other players at that spot, to be honest.
Okay. All right. So now...
And you got Goddard behind you. Goddard might take over and phase him out if Ertz gets dinged up like he does every year.
Maybe. Now, the only thing left is the big call. Is that right, G?
We have got, the big call. Unless you have something else written down there, Mo?
No, I don't. So let's go. So, Randy, you go with your big call first. First up.
All right. Andrew Luck comes back, throws for 4,400 yards and 31 touchdowns. In a losing effort, the Colts will have a much better season, but this defense is not going to be good. He's going to put up a lot of stats for you. He's going to look like Andrew Luck, and the deeper we get in the season, the better he will look. But he won't have a winning enough team to overtake Aaron Rodgers for the Offensive Player of the Year or Drew Brees as the MVP. But you're going to see a real nice comeback. We didn't write that one down. Andrew Luck, Comeback Player of the Year. You couldn't go all the way without a cheap Colts homer take, could you?
No, that's what, actually, AJ said to me, he says, we don't have a comeback play. But I'm thinking, where you got to have like a line, like what is a comeback play? Is it you missed half of last season? Have you come back from players that have come back from cancer? Is it you missed a season? Have you missed 2 seasons? Where do you put it? I didn't know where to put it, so I just left it out.
It's subjective.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway.
No. I hope Brandon's got that because I've got a team with Andrew Luck's been sitting on the bench for about 2 years. So that'd be great if it really helped me out.
Schepps, off you go.
All right, so this is our rise from obscurity, correct? So my guy is Nick.
Hold on. No, that was the big call.
Huh?
No, that was the big your big call. We didn't do rise from obscurity.
Oh, you're right. We didn't do rise from obscurity.
We'll do that. Circle back.
We'll do that at the end. That's all right. This is the big call, Schepps.
I already started my player, so now it's... But all right, I'll go back. So cut that, forget that. Yeah. My big call was going to be the Anthony Miller on Sunday night, week 1. That's a big call. And I have the Chargers starting out cold and then steamrolling their way into the playoffs, but still losing to the Jaguars. And then here's my biggest call of them all.
You haven't 3.
Leonard Fournette's going to miss a few games. That's my biggest call of all.
That's not happening,
man.
I can't see that happening. That's stupid
too
talk.
Far?
That's stupid
Is that
talk.
Too far?
Yeah. Yep.
Now listen,
AJ.
Schepps, you were on last year when we did our predictions pod, right? So
yes.
You know what the big call is.
Big call.
I couldn't. Nothing came to me, man.
Okay,
I've got 2 pages of stuff here.
Oh, you should see it. I can vouch for that. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that's a good time for a toilet break. But so my big call is not quite that long, but actually, Randy, I'm surprised you didn't go this way because you kind of alluded to it a little bit. So my big call begins the NFC Championship game, in fact. So we've got the Saints going into the Vikings. Early first quarter. Danielle Hunter, he gets around the edge pretty much unopposed. Whack! Drew Brees goes down to the ground. Concussion, he's carted off. In comes Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota, and the Saints win. Right? In front
and
of
one glove.
In front of a Minnesota crowd. And what's more, Saints are in the Super Bowl against the Chargers, and the Saints win, a la almost like Nick Foles, right? But Teddy wins the Super Bowl for the Saints.
You just shattered bloody Randy's dream of Brees walking off into the sunset with a Super Bowl MVP. He's a guest.
We're close enough. Drew Brees is a nice enough fella, but if that happened, that's fine too.
Mate, I'm treating you as a guest, like you're in my house, and you've come to the door like
that's my big call. Anyway, there you go.
Like like a door-to-door, and you just slam the door in Randy's.
It's not like I did it to Andrew Luck.
That's okay. My big call. He's sitting. He's ready. If you guys want to go and do something for a while, you can come back.
This might take a while.
All right. Okay. The Ravens start the season, and they don't have a bye week until round 10. And by the time they get to week 10, they have a 5-4 record. With the first 6 games going 5-1, they finished the last 3 games with losses to the Saints, Panthers, and Steelers. Now the AFC divisional frontrunners are the Patriots, the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Jags, and they know this, right? Now the wildcard teams that will be playing off as the season progresses will obviously be the Chiefs, the Texans, the Bengals, and themselves. Okay, so they get to the bye week. Now they've possibly penciled in 4 wins for the run home, and they need a spark to secure that one extra game that they will need to at least have a 10-6 record and give them a chance of a wild card. They drafted a guy in the first round by the name of Lamar Jackson, and he's been used in certain situations during the year, and he has absolutely shone. Now, seeing that teams don't have a lot of film on him, the Ravens decide to start Lamar Jackson as their quarterback after the Week 10 bye. Okay, now, the Jags have started with 4 straight wins against the Giants, Pats, Titans, and Jets, but crash to lose 3 of the next 4. Now, their bye is in Week 9, and the Jags and old man Coughlin realise that the offense is struggling to put points on the board. Their defense has been winning them most of the games. The offense just can't get going. Blake Bortles can't move this offense. So calls are made to Baltimore. The QB rookie class for next season is shallow, and the Jags know this.
As we discussed.
As we have discussed, circus. Yes. And they will also be in no position to move up that far to grab a decent QB. So they do a trade with the Ravens, and they accept the 3 years and around $60 million that the Ravens owe Joe Flacco. And they will, so after the bye, the round 9 bye, and that's right, yeah, the round 9 bye, Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for the Jags, and the starting quarterback for the Ravens will be Lamar Jackson.
Well, I'll be.
Wow. Is that
it? That was a narrative.
that was something else, man.
He said bold, though. That's bold.
Put him on the block.
Beefy and spicy.
Mate, put him on the block. Well, sure. Mate, I don't want to keep bringing it up, but I do have history.
Yeah. You always bring it up.
I know.
You don't want to bring it up.
I don't want to bring it up, but I have history. I don't want to bring it up, but I will. I have history. I don't think if Randers probably doesn't know about that.
You don't need to tell him either.
Okay, I won't tell you, Randers. but someone guessed the week that Peyton Manning would get hurt and Brock Osweiler would take him to the playoffs. But I got the end bit wrong.
You did get the end bit wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said Peyton Manning win his second Super Bowl sitting on the side watching somebody else win it for him. But
it was effectively on the side.
He was on effectively.
All right. Now, we did kind of skip a category. Let's just jump back to that, and that was the riser from obscurity. Randers, do you have...
I will keep mine short and sweet. I'm going with Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks. There's a guy who was, I guess, a darling of the fantasy football world a few years ago. He broke his leg right before Christmas in 2016, and he's a full 20 years removed from that. And he's had a pretty good camp, and the Seahawks just rewarded him with a 3-year, $30+ million contract with $20 million guaranteed. I think they like what they see. Doug Baldwin's admitted that he's going to be 80-85% all year this year at best. And I just really see Tyler Lockett getting the opportunity to shine in a team that's going to be behind a lot, throwing the ball a lot, and that'll really drive up his stats. So he'll rise from basically nothing to being a pretty good player.
Excellent.
Schepps.
All right. So my rise from obscurity, again, is Nick Kwiatkowski from Chicago. They drafted Roquan Smith. Kwiatkowski's a third-year player, inside linebacker, and he played a bit here and there last year. He had about 50 55 total tackles his rookie year. He had about 60 last year. I believe he had 2 sacks last year. So he was just a player who came in when guys were dinged up, but he got the job done. So they drafted Roquan Smith. Everybody thinks that Roquan Smith is guaranteed that spot there, and he's going to play, and he's got a spot. So it's between Roquan Smith and Danny Trevathan. But I think Kwiatkowski wins one of those jobs. And now, with this Khalil Mack news going to the Bears, they haven't announced who the player is that got moved to Oakland. So it is possible it is Trevathan. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's possible with Bowman gone. They need an inside linebacker. It could be Trevathan. So if it's Trevathan, then this is a home run. But if it's not Trevathan, I still think Kwiatkowski is going to win one of those 2 jobs, and I believe he's going to be a household name, and he's going to rise from obscurity this year.
AJ.
Nice. I'm gonna go Kenneth Dixon.
The guy that was 2 weeks ago on the bubble.
Yeah.
Well, it's a rise from obscurity.
It's obscurity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can't be any more obscure than that.
No. I think that's fair. What was that?
That'd be Schepps. That wouldn't be Randy. That'd be Schepps.
Gee, who you got?
Well, I'm going to put Jalen Samuels in there, the rookie.
Ooh.
I can see Lev Bell getting hurt this year.
What about James Conner?
Mate, he can't do what Samuels can do. He just can't do it. This guy can do it, everything. He's got the build to be a back. He catches everything like a wide receiver. The dude is shifty as all get out. And, mate, he was the offense.
I think it's Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, he was North Carolina State.
North Carolina
red and white.
Thanks, Randers. Thank you.
I liked him more when I watched their quarterback.
Yeah, Finley.
Than when I watched him, dude.
Yep.
When I watched, oh my goodness, did Samuels jump off the film?
Yep.
It was incredible.
I think the way I looked at it is when we spoke to a Steelers guy for our team pod is that when you looked at him and watched the film on him, you expected to hear his name, you expected to see him, but when you go and you're looking at someone else, where we're looking at the quarterbacks and it was Finley, the quarterback, you're sort of looking at him, but all of a sudden you hear this Samuels, his name just keep popping up all the time, even though you're not watching him. It's just a name that kept popping up on the computer, on the screen. It's just like, man, I didn't realise this guy was in the whole offense, and he basically was the whole offense, and he can do everything. He's a running back, he's a wide receiver. I don't think he's sort of that tweener sort of guy like a Tavon Austin where he's not big enough to do, you got to work out these intricate sort of schemes and plans for him. He can either be your running back or he can be a wide receiver line up in the slot, and I think if Lev Bell goes down and he's missed another pre-season, this guy could easily overtake James Conner.
I like it.
Randers?
I'm more on the James Conner side, but I love Jalen Samuels. I have them both on a lot of my fantasy football team stashed because I don't think Lev Bell's going to show up. And if Lev Bell doesn't show up, someone's got to, I think it'll be more of a committee without Lev Bell. I think you'll see James Connors as more of that bruising early down guy, and then my boy G's boy, Samuels coming in on those third downs and really helping keeping this offense on the field, and it's a good call.
Thank you.
Great pickup. Great pickup for those deep dynasty.
Rosters. Without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt. And thanks, Randers, for saying he's my boy with Schepps on the line. Do you hear that, Schepps?
Hey man, I'll give you these guys because they're not mine. But when you're trying to take guys like Keelan Cole, then we're gonna have problems.
I have to show you a few of my dynasty teams where Keelan Cole's been sitting on there for
but I was screaming Keelan Cole everywhere last year. Anybody who asked me, Randy knows he's on the war zone. Anybody who asked me, John, who should I pick up this week? Keelan Cole, and start him every week. So you can have these guys as long as we know the truth.
The truth.
Well, listen, guys, it's been great having you guys on for our predictions pod. Please let us know what you think of our predictions. Actually, maybe you shouldn't. Let us know what you think of our predictions. But we're going to keep track of these anyway. G's written them all down, and we're going to keep track of them. And usually the hit rate is pretty low, I must say.
It's not good.
We've done this in the past. Usually, 3 or 4 ticks is a win, isn't it, G?
Oh, mate, three ticks and you're blowing the opposition away.
Pretty
honestly.
much. Randy, it's been great having you on again, as always, and people can follow you at DFF Memphis and listen to you at the Dynasty Warzone. Schepps at Sliz Digital and honorary Aussie guy.
Can I say something before we go?
Sure.
I just want to say John Gruden
Yeah, but it takes two to tango. So we hear the whole story. I don't know. I just don't know that he wanted to. We don't know what's going on there, really.
Are we going? You mean Chip Kelly as in with Khalil Mack?
I'm saying Chip Kelly with everything he did when he was in Philly.
Yep. Okay.
He just sold everything, got rid of everything, and he thought that, man, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I hope he knows what he's doing, because it doesn't look like it at this moment.
Yeah, it kind of stings at the moment. But
he brought Martavis Bryant over, and he's already having problems with that cat. Sells you're probably your biggest, the face of the franchise, who hasn't gotten in trouble probably in his whole life. You don't even hear about it. I don't know. What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
Your turn.
So, yeah, it is. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. And it's been a blast, and the season's nearly upon us. But that's our predictions pod for 2018. We'll see how it pans out. We get to find out real soon, which is good. Guys, thanks so much. We'll let you go.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me back on there. And shout out to all my good friends in the beautiful country of Australia.
We'll see you down here, Sue Randers.
Absolutely. It's on the bucket list. You and I have talked about this offline, G. I'll be in that country soon.
Yeah, you just keep the other half. And we actually, before you go, mate, and we actually spoke about, and you know that I said this to you the other day about that. What do you guys? We say batting above our averages. You say out kicking your coverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know what you're referring to. I interviewed my wife on the Dynasty Warzone. It was a short podcast, about 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And I posted a picture in a group chat with G, and the first thing out of his mouth is like, "You've way outdone yourself." And I'm like, "You're damn right." I way outkicked my coverage. My wife is amazing, and I know how lucky I am.
Yeah.
But thank you for that, G.
No, that's right, mate. Because she sounded great. I said, mate, if she sounds that good,
Yeah.
Rand is definitely outdoing himself. Then he sent me a photo. I said, "Yeah." I just wrote back, "Yeah, you are," because it was.
But it's no surprise. Randy's such a nice guy.
Yeah, no, without doubt. Yep.
Shep's on the other hand.
Shep's on the other. Don't know what that cat's going on.
You know what they say, right? You know what they say. Sometimes good girls like bad guys. Maybe that's it.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez, he goes to the bottle.
Jeez, kick the bottle.
Kick the can.
Kick the can.
Better than the bucket, I guess.
Exactly right, Rand.
That's true.
All right, mate. We'll let you go, Randers. You got to get to the gym, work out, and
that's right.
And we'll catch up with you and have you on the show again real soon.
Thanks very much, guys.
Bye, guys.
Go Cowboys. Go Tigers.
And on that note, on behalf of G, Schepps, and myself,
and Randers,
thanks for listening.
Memphis,
bring on the season.
Names.
And
Outlaw.
Thanks for listening,
mate. He rides a Harley. You want bad boys? He rides a Harley. Schepps, you got to pull your game.
Listen, stop skiding all over my my outro.
Oh, sorry.
So, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time.